Hello everyone, let me show you the fascinating world of dynamic operators, in particular the GrayScott system. Let's jump to the first example. I prepared a configuration and I run it. Let me pause for a moment. What you see is the chemical reaction of two substances. One is the fuel, which is uniformly distributed across the whole lattice, and the other substance is a deactivator which eats the fuel, and the deactivator is these yellow structures. Okay, continue the simulation. Here you can see how the deactivator is, so to say, moving into the area where it finds the fuel. You see loops, you see worms, you see spots, and at some point, more or less, the whole lattice is filled. Let's stop here and go to the next example. Maybe I take this. Okay. Here we have a different color map. Blue, white, red. Blue says there's a zero concentration of the deactivator. Red is full concentration of the deactivator. The simulation is controlled by two parameters mainly, the feed rate and the kill rate. The feed rate controls how the fuel is recharged during the reaction, and the kill rate controls how much deactivator is removed from the system. So if you don't remove the deactivator, for instance, it will dominate the whole reaction, and you won't see anything interesting afterwards. So this is my second example. And then let's choose this thing, which looks different. The only thing I do is change feed rate and kill rate. These are the important parameters. I can stop here, everything is done. Of course, the color is arbitrary. You can choose whatever you like. So we made the simulation, we got different patterns. And but we find patterns elsewhere, for instance in nature. For this I prepared a slide with images from animals. Here we have the leopard with the spots, giraffes with the net, zebras with the stripes, and here we have two nice fishes with more complicated patterns. What do these animals have in common? The skin patterns. Each member of the species has a similar pattern, but you don't find two individuals which have the identical pattern. So people thought about how nature creates these patterns, and there is a proposal from Alan Turing, the famous Alan Turing. The paper is called The Chemical Basis of Morphogenesis. He talks about the reaction-diffusion model. It was published in 1951. It's a rather long paper and it's very technical in the mathematical sense. And it was written before strong computers were available. So I'm really impressed by his prediction. Now, a few details about the GrayScott model. So reaction of two substances, we call the activator U, the activator V, and this is the reaction U plus 2V goes to 3V. And so the deactivator eats the activator. We have the parameters, feed rate, recharges U, kill rate, removes V from the system. We have diffusion constants, which are not so important. Two constants, I choose the U to be twice as big as the V. That's absolutely okay. Then we have an update time, of course, the speed of the simulation. To prepare a simulation, what I did was set U constant across the lattice, then choose squares and circles for V, choose the kill rate and the feed rate, and selected an update time and run the simulation. That was all. Okay, now I would like to show you more examples and thereby explain the various parts of the graphical user interface. Let's choose another place, maybe here. Okay, so maybe I should stop. What I did is I went to places. Here I have stored several PNG files with the images which were created, and these PNG files have metadata where I stored the parameters that were necessary for the particular simulation. Perhaps you know this all already from the Mandelbrot Explorer. This is really useful. So I can go back to the work that I did a couple of days before. I load a PNG file and then I simulate it and change the simulation, change the feed rate, the coloring, and so on, and then I can store it again. Okay, let's continue the simulation. So it's a nice pattern, I would say. And then we look at the color. So we have this color map is turbo. This is a list of my favorite colors, and you can choose whatever you like. So I'll go back to turbo. And then we have the pop-up menu, all colors. Here I list all colors which are mentioned in the matplotlib documentation. So color map is very important. We can reverse the color map to put it upside down. Reversing the color map can black, white, red. So here you can see, you just see the reverse color map. The high concentration areas are blue, and if we unreverse it, we see that what we expect, the high concentration is red and the low concentration of the deactivator is blue. And we can make the color map cyclic, which makes no sense in this example. And then, very important, we can rotate the color map. Let's change the colors. So this is very important. Then we have a normalization of the color map. And in this case, we have power norm, we have log norm, inverse log norm, lean norm. And for the power norm, you can change the exponent, for instance, gives a little bit different color. And the normalization works on a limit window. The lower limit can be changed, and the upper limit. And now to reset this thing, I just reread the last file which I read. Okay, then we may use the shader. This can be very important depending on the graphics. Here we can use the vertical exaggeration, and then there are different blend modes. In this example, the shader doesn't look really good. So for the Mandelbrot Explorer, I prepared a video where I explain the coloring in detail. If you're interested, you can go to this video and look at it. Or you can just use the tools as I showed you. I mean, you don't have to fully understand what this power norm really means. I mean, if you change the power norm to some other norm, you will see what happens and whether you like it or not. Good. Let's stop this simulation. Go to another place. Maybe I go here. Okay. So here I can show you, for instance, the size of this graphical window. So here we have 500 times 500 pixels, which can take some time to simulate. And you can choose, for instance, 300 times 300. And this is then faster. But the resolution is worse. So I stop And let me choose another place, maybe this one. I think these structures are often called waves, because they just move through the lattice like a wave. It's interesting to see how these waves destroy themselves. Sometimes they appear again, then they get in touch, and then they minimize the surface. Yeah. Okay. So maybe I'm not happy with the scale, and here the scale is 1.2. If I stop here, if I go to 2, the graphics becomes larger. Choosing different scales can be a problem now then, because then it's a question of the numeric stability. So if the program crashes, to say, or if you see that there are problems, then go to scale 1. It usually works. And of course you can adjust the speed. Here, for instance, I make it faster. I was at 0.1 second. I go to 0.5, 5 times faster. Reset, go, and it's faster. Sometimes you want it, sometimes not. Stop. Okay. So now I have to explain how to choose the feed rate and the kill rate. Maybe we go back to our first example. Here you see the feed rate is ignoring these leading zeros, 425, and the kill rate 632. I may change this, for instance, to 0.0370, for instance. Apply, reset, and go. Then the graphic will change. But to change the feed rate this way it's not very elegant, and you would not be so happy with it. So, but still, it is one way to change these parameters, and you will use this feature if you have some feed rates and kill rates from the internet and you want to simulate yourself. In this case, you would do it. Places is another possibility to set the kill rate and feed rate. You have seen it. Then there are preset values. Here, maybe we go to nice. So here we have several options and a different feed rate and kill rate. And there I have also some comments, yeah, like nice, for instance. Or yes, this is spots, fluctuating, pulsating, alpha 2. Let's try this one. Oh, sorry. Didn't work because I was already simulating. So here the spots develop. It's also interesting how they develop. You have here these circles. Everything depends on the parameters feed rate and kill rate. And then you see how some of the spots disappear, others appear. The simulation may stop at an iteration limit, which has been chosen before. You can check forever, and then it runs forever. So with this preset values, you can change the feed rate. And so I have taken these cases from the internet, these names. And it's more or less a reminder. Okay, stop. But the most important part of setting the feed rate and kill rate is the FK map. This is the map I got from Robert Nafo. Here I have the reference, and I have also mentioned the license. So I'm very grateful to Robert. And let's look at the map. So here in the y direction is the feed rate, and here we have the kill rate. And this is the interesting part where the action happens. Below you have chaos. And in the upper area you have developments which are rather calm. Oh, that's too slow for me. Maybe we go here. Okay, so, and here there are some buttons, left, right, up and down, and then you can move this across this FK map. So this is one way to investigate different pattern. Okay, now we stop of this map. Then I have to show you this nice chaotic simulation, which I really like. These patterns evolve into spots, and they will now disappear slowly. And when spots are gone, chaos appears. Here we go. Fascinating, isn't it? It's just the choice of F and K which brings you here. I stop. And my last example, this is a place that I really like. Here. Here the coloring is very important. See, I like these yellow or orange surfaces, and it's like looming for me. It's fantastic, yeah. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you, basically. What I showed you, you can do yourself. I will upload my code to GitHub, and I will leave the reference to my code in the description of this video. I plan to publish more videos. For instance, important the interface between Mandelbrot set and the dynamic operators. Of course, you can use the Mandelbrot set as a seed for dynamic operators, and this is also this is very interesting. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and I thank you for watching.